Listen, can you feel it? Something shifted. The air don't feel the same. Too many masks falling, too many truths walking in the daylight. Justice been patient, now she's knocking at every door. Oh, let's go. It's over. It's over. What's hidden always finds the sunlight. What's planted in darkness always grows toward the light. It's over. The tide done turned. The whole world finally starting to discern. We cried, we built, we stood, we healed. Now look at what refusing to quit revealed. It's over. Funny how silence got louder than the lies. Funny how fake smiles couldn't survive real hours. Everybody wanted power, nobody wanted truth. Now accountability walking in expensive boots. Used to laugh, used to mock, used to throw stones. Now everybody's scrambling, trying to protect thrones. Light don't argue, it just shines. Truth don't rush, it arouse on time. Respect don't disappear, energy don't lie. Everything eventually meets the most high. No shortcuts, no cheating, no editing history. What's done in the shadows always becomes somebody's testimony. Can you feel that? The atmosphere changing. People protecting peace instead of entertaining. Killing, replacing hate. Purpose replacing fame. The culture waking up, nothing feeling the same. It's over. No more pretending. It's over. It's over. A new beginning. Truth too bright. Can't dim that light. Justice showed up. Now everything's sitting right. It's over. The season changed. The energy rearranged. One chapter closed, another one raised. It's over. Yeah. From neighborhoods to timelines, from classrooms to front lines. People standing tall and speaking with intention. Learning every platform carries real consequences. Less tearing people down, more lifting people up. Less chasing empty clout, more building real trust. Every grandmother praying, every father staying, every child dreaming, every voice saying, enough, enough hiding, enough dividing, enough pretending everything alright when people dying. And the next generation watching every move we make. Let's leave them something stronger than another fake debate. Who we are, truth, what we want, justice, how we move forward, how we lead together. Boom. Ain't no victory lap, it's a healing march. Everybody carrying visible and invisible scars. Some lost family, some lost hope, some almost gave up, barely stayed afloat. But look now, the sun's still rising, the future looking brighter, the vision getting wider. Real ones never folded, never sold their souls. Stay 10 toes while the pressure made them go. Their respect sounding louder than gossip. Character worth more than popularity. Integrity becoming a new luxury. That's the flex. No revenge, just growth. No hate, just hope. No bitterness, just wisdom. No fear, just vision. It's the dawn of another chapter. Built stronger, built wiser, built together. Darkness couldn't hold us. The truth finally showed us who we are, who we can be. What happens when people choose unity? Fear don't own us. Love still growing, justice still flowing. Keep your head high, keep your light bright. The dawn of a new era starts tonight. They counted us out, but they never counted on the truth. The world changing, one voice, one family, one act of courage at a time. Golden Queen, this ain't the ending, it's the beginning. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Listen, can you feel it? Something shifted. The air don't feel the same. Too many masks falling. Too many truths walking in the daylight. Justice been patient. Now she's knocking at every door. Let's go! It's over. It's over. What's hidden always finds the sunlight. What's planted in darkness always grows toward the light. It's over. The tide done turned. The whole world finally starting to discern. We cried, we built, we stood, we healed. Now look at what refusing to quit revealed. It's over. Funny how silence got louder than the last. Funny how fake smiles couldn't survive real eyes. Everybody wanted power, nobody wanted truth. Now accountability, walking in expensive boots. Used to laugh, used to mock, used to throw stones. Now everybody scrambling, trying to protect thrones. See, light don't argue, it just shines. Truth don't rush, it arrives on time. Receipts don't disappear, energy don't lie. Everything eventually needs the most high. No shortcuts, no cheating, no editing history. What's done in the shadows always becomes somebody's testimony. Hey! Can you feel that? The atmosphere changing. People protecting peace instead of entertaining. Healing, replacing hate, purpose replacing fame. The culture waking up, nothing feeling the same. It's over. No more pretending. A new beginning. Too bright, can't dim that light. Just showed up, now everything's sitting right. It's over. The season changed. The energy rearranged. One chapter closed, another one raised. It's over. Yeah. From neighborhood to timelines. From classrooms to front lines, people standing taller, speaking with intention. Learning every platform carries real consequences. Less tearing people down, more lifting people up. Less chasing empty clout, more building real trust. Every grandmother praying, every father staying, every child dreaming, every voice saying enough. Enough hiding, enough dividing, everything and everything alright when people are dying. The next generation watching every movie make. Let's leave them something stronger than another fake debate. Hey. Who we are, hey. Truth, what we want, justice, how we move forward, how we lead together. It's a healing march. Everybody carry visible and invisible scars. Some lost family, some lost hope, some almost gave up, barely stayed afloat. But look now, the sun still rises, the future looking brighter, the vision getting wider. Real ones never folded, never sold. They sold, stay 10 toes while the pressure made them gold. Now respect sounding louder than gossip. Character worth more than popularity. Integrity becoming the new luxury. That's the flex. No revenge, just growth. No hate, just hope. No bitterness, just wisdom. No fear, just vision. This the dawn of another chapter. Build stronger, build wiser, build together. It's over. Darkness couldn't hold us. It's over. The truth finally showed us who we are, who we can be. What happens when people choose unity? It's over. Fear don't own us. Love is still growing. Justice still flowing. Keep your head high. Keep your light bright. The dawn of a new era starts tonight. They counted us out, but they never counted on the truth. The world changing. One voice, one family, one act of courage at a time. Golden Queen, this ain't the ending. It's the beginning. It's over, over, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over. Don't make eye contact. I move like truth in a crowded room, unnoticed, until it's too late. Snap, snap. File 1, hypocrisy. File 2, projection. File 3, denial. Let's open the case. Let's open the case. Yeah. Look in the mirror, don't dodge that truth. All that preaching, but your hands stay loose. Talk accountability till it points at you. Then it's silence when the receipts come through. Come Mama, don't forget no names. Every screenshot still plays the game. You throw dirt, but you stay the same. I just let facts do all the flame. Yeah, I seen the shift when the narrative flip. Same voices loud, but they edited clips. Talking moral high ground with a shaky grip. Why they hide their own past in a broken zip? I don't need opinions, I read between lines. Watch how they switch when the pressure aligns. One day love, next day they sign on a pylon wave just to feel the line. But I came from blocks where the real don't fold, where you stand on truth even when it gets cold. Y'all build on hype, I build on soul. Then watch the whole story unfold. Yeah, I see it. Don't act holy now. Record scratch, click, 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 click. Look in the mirror, don't dodge that truth. All that preaching, but your hands stay loose. Talk accountability till it points at you. Then it's silence when the receipts come through. Mama, don't forget no names. Every screenshot still plays the game. You throw dirt, but you stay the same. I just let facts do all the flame. Now let's talk energy, let's talk intent. How every movement got the angle is spent. One voice sparks it, then the mob gets sent. But nobody asks where the truth really went. Funny how justice only loud when it's safe, but goes real quiet when it's their own case. I don't chase clout, I don't need that space. I let silence expose what they erase. You can't build real off fake outrage. Can't write truth from a scripted page. Calm us patient, don't rush that stage. But when it lands, it clears the cage. File closed. But the mirror still open. Snap.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Golden, and I am back. Excuse me, y'all, with another live. How y'all doing? Happy Friday, y'all. We made it to the end of the week. I hope everybody is doing well. It's about 2:41 p.m. here Eastern Time in the United States and the Carolinas. I hope you guys are having an excellent day in whatever respectful time zone you're in, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night for you. The weather here, y'all, is hot, but the sun is shining. So you know what that means. I'm in an excellent mood, and I hope you guys are as well. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Whether you want to come kick it in the chat or you just want to lay back in the cut and just listen, I appreciate all of it, and your presence is felt. So yeah, y'all, I just have a few little short things to bring to y'all as far as updates when it comes to the politics and stuff like that. And as y'all know, my lovely co-host Imani is on vacation. But she pops in and out and stuff like that. So we might get, a guest appearance from her today, child, if she got some time. But she over there having a good time and living her best life on vacation. And I love that for her. But let me go ahead and say hello to everyone. So hey Brayna, hey Asher, how y'all doing? Thank you so much for coming in. Y'all know Mama's in the background in the cut, and she's listening as well. And so, yeah, y'all, we just got a few little political updates to talk about. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long on this beautiful Friday. I hope you guys have some great plans for the weekend. I do have some for mine. I'm gonna take my little peanut. He wants to go to the pool, child. So we going to the pool. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and dive right in. So y'all know we got a little bit of housekeeping, and housekeeping doesn't always have to be, negative and whatnot. But yeah, this is our segment we do. It's called Politics with Purpose, y'all. So, we talk about political things and we break them down and unpack them because, we have to. We can't ignore that these things don't affect our lives and they're things that we have to speak about. But before we get into the heavy political blocks today, and trust me, we do have a lot to unpack. We need to handle some quick housekeeping, but it's a different kind of housekeeping today. This is a mindset check. I wanted to talk to y'all about something that's been on my spirit very heavily. I wanted to talk about optimism versus pessimism. I want y'all to look at the world right now. It is incredibly easy to look at the global landscape, look at the economy, look at the political theater, and just throw your hands up in defeat. Pessimism is comfortable. It gives you an excuse to stop trying because everything is broken anyway and it's never going to get better. But let me tell you something, pure pessimism is a trap. Holding on to a strategic, purposeful optimism isn't about ignoring the fire. It's about believing we have the power to put it out. And we see this exact same battle play out even right here on these YouTube streets. Look around the platform, y'all. Drama sells, doom posting sells. We see creators adopt these ultra cynical, hyper pessimistic personas because tearing things down gets quick clicks and high engagement. It creates spaces where people just gather to feed on negativity. But it's not what we do over here, especially on days when we're doing politics. We're not here just to point out the wreckage and complain about it. We're here to analyze, to hold power accountable, and to find the purpose in politics so we can build our communities up. We keep it real, we give it to you raw, but never let go of the vision for better. But before we kick off our heavy hitters, you know, I just wanted us to reflect on that a little bit because I know sometimes politics seems like gloom and doom, but we have to have the faith that things will get better. And we have to truly believe that they are going to get better, whether it comes to our governmental structures, as such as politics, or just how things navigate on this YouTube and social media platforms. We can be pessimists and we can just say, forget it and give up hope, or we can keep fighting and keep believing that tomorrow will be a brighter day than yesterday. And that's just all I like to do, y'all, with a lot of different things. But anyway, I talked about some other things on the last housekeeping, y'all, as far as, how I move and I operate and what I really believe is important. And I believe unity is important. It's important for all of us as a people, despite our race and our backgrounds. And I think the best way that we can get to that set unity is to get to know one another better, sit down and have conversations. And sometimes we pass judgment too quickly before getting to know people. I don't think it's anything wrong with spinning the block and doing the work to actually get to know somebody, even after you already passed judgment. You can spin it back. But there are people, like I said, that are more so pessimistic. They like to just stay in their comfort zone. Once they've got their mind made up, they keep it right there where it's at. Golden doesn't operate like that. So Golden, you may see, and it may seem weird to you, and you may have questions, and I'm always open to speak with you about them. But yeah, I believe that we need to give each other a chance. We need to give each other time and space to get to know one another. And I think once we do that, we have a better context and understanding of who we are, how we operate on these platforms. You have to remember, we're meeting from all over the big, beautiful globe, from all different places, all different walks of life, and all different experiences. And because of that, we're not always going to see eye to eye or see things the same way. And the only way for us to gain more understanding when it comes to one another is to actually have conversations with one another, get to know one another, give each other time. But that's a whole nother housekeeping for a whole nother day, y'all. I don't want to hold you too long. So let me tell you exactly what we'll be talking about. And it's only a few topics today, y'all. It's not very many. But y'all know one of my favorite excuse me, y'all, platforms is Democracy Now. I love Democracy Now because they give a whole rundown of, what is happening, not just in the United States, but in the world headlines, things that we need to know. So we're going to be breaking down the biggest news from across the globe right here on Golden's channel. From critical policy shifts to international updates, we will be listening to Democracy Now. We separate the corporate media spin from the raw truth. Because corporate media, child, don't try to tell us all and everything that's going on. So let's start with the big picture. Looking at the latest core global headlines breaking right now from Democracy Now! Briefs, we are seeing major shifts in international conflicts, critical human rights updates, and climate policy developments that the mainstream and corporate media seems to gloss over a lot of the time. We always have to ask the critical questions. How do these global events tie back to us locally? When we see billions flying overseas for foreign aid while our own local communities are begging for basic infrastructure and domestic resource allocation, it's clear these aren't just faraway problems. Let's use this rapid fire block to catch the chatter up, y'all. On the baseline facts, the day before we dive into specific commentary topics, drawing the contrast between what corporate news wants us to care about versus what is actually impacting human lives on the ground. So y'all know, per usual, I always come with a video, y'all. So let me get this popped up real quick. You know I'm going to meet y'all in the chat. And my little peanut is running back and forth. So you may hear him in the background, and I apologize for that. But let me get this video pulled up real quick, y'all, and let's get into it.
democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Iran's government says at least 8 people were killed as the U.S. carried out a 6th straight day of attacks. Targets included a railway station, 6 bridges, and other civilian infrastructure. Iran's energy ministry is calling on citizens to reduce their electricity use after Iran's energy grid came under attack despite sweltering summer heat with temperatures well into triple digits. In another bombing, the U.S. struck near a children's cancer hospital in the southwestern city of Avaz. The attack sparked the panicked evacuation of more than 200 people, including young patients undergoing chemotherapy. In response, Iran claimed a 13th wave of retaliatory strikes against U.S. bases. Missile and drone attacks were reported in Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, Syria, and Qatar, where officials say a child was injured by falling missile debris. Here in the United States, dense smoke from Canadian wildfires brought air quality alerts to people in more than 20 states in the Northeast and Upper Midwest Thursday, with more smoke in the forecast this weekend. The air quality index in Toledo, Ohio, climbed to over 600. That compares to a good air quality score of 50 or less. In Detroit, Michigan, it topped 720, more than double what's needed to trigger a hazardous air alert. Here in New York, Mayor Zoran Mamdani spoke as readings topped 250, a level he said poses a health risk for everyone, regardless of their health status.
Whether we're speaking about the heat, whether we're speaking about the air quality, or whether we're even speaking about the levels of rainwater and flooding in our city, I am concerned. And I'm concerned because what we see is that the climate crisis exacerbates so much of what our city is facing.
Meanwhile, in Texas, at least 2 people died as dangerous flooding swept through the central part of the state, the same area where more than 130 people, including 25 children at a Christian girls' summer camp, died in flash floods last summer. President Trump used a primetime address Thursday to accuse China of interfering in the 2020 election, despite a U.S. intelligence assessment finding no evidence to support his claim. A Chinese foreign ministry spokesperson said Trump's accusations were, quote, totally fabricated and a malicious smear, unquote. President Trump also urged Republicans in Congress to pass the Save America Act, which requires IDs at the polls and proof of citizenship during voter registration.
Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference.
Federal investigators have found President Trump's longtime teleprompter operator, Gabriel Perez, made more than $100,000 by betting on Trump's speeches. He allegedly used the prediction market Kalshi to place the bets. The company alerted the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to Perez's suspicious activity on its mentions market, where users can bet on whether specific words or phrases are uttered during public remarks. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt was questioned Thursday about the scandal.
Obviously, I'm aware of the report. The president is too. I spoke with him about it. He believes it's deeply unfortunate and, frankly, a disgrace.
This comes as President Trump's company, Truth Social, announced plans to charge for special high-speed access to Trump's social media posts, including statements on national security and financial topics. In response, Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal wrote, quote, the president's social media posts covering war and peace and government regulations move markets. Truth Social selling preferential access is yet another example of flagrant corruption, trading access to the White House for Trump's self-enrichment, Blumenthal said. Meanwhile, a senior Iranian official told Dropsite News Iran had informed Vice President J.D. Vance that Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and his Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, were more interested in exploiting insider knowledge of the ceasefire negotiations to potentially profit than they were in reaching a deal. Iran provided Dropsite written documentation of evidence that Kushner and Witkoff were using diplomatic developments to manipulate financial markets. The White House flatly denied the allegations. In Maine, the ICE agent who fatally shot Joan Sebastian Duran Guerrero during a traffic stop in Biddeford Monday has been identified as David Brulette, a former police officer and U.S. Army veteran. His ex-wife, Ashley, told the Portland Press-Herald he called her and admitted he was the officer behind Monday's shooting. Ashley Brulette described abusive behavior both during and after her marriage to David Brulette. She said she wanted to speak out publicly because she'd previously reported concerns about her husband's mental health to his superiors in the military. Separately, the Associated Press reports several of David Brulette's close relatives say he struggled with serious mental health issues since early childhood and never should have been given access to a badge and a gun. Speaking anonymously, one relative said, quote, Afghanistan destroyed him, trained him to be a killing monster, a machine. They took someone who was extremely mentally ill and turned him into a killing machine, the relative said. On Thursday, the widow of Joan Sebastian Duran Guerrero spoke publicly for the first time since her husband was killed as he set off for work Monday morning. Carolina Rojas Alvarez said the loss of her husband has been devastating for their 3-year-old daughter.
The day before, he took her to the park, and they had a wonderful time. That Monday afternoon was supposed to be her day with her dad, but he never came home. And now my daughter is asking about her father, and I don't have the strength to tell her that he's not coming, that she can't hug him anymore or say, "Daddy, I love you."
In Nevada, rights groups are demanding an investigation into the violent attempted arrest of an elderly man by plainclothes ICE agents at the Las Vegas International Airport. Video of Monday's incident shows 2 people in plainclothes, one masked, the other hooded, pushing a man to the floor and handcuffing him as he cries out for help. One of the agents then tries to swat away an observer's camera as he approaches.
What's going on? What's going on? It's law enforcement. What's going on? We can still have the right to know what's going on. Everyone back up. Are you okay?
Responding to the video, Nevada Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen called for ICE to follow the same guardrails as other law enforcement agencies. She wrote, quote, "Plain clothes, no uniforms, no body cameras, no identification," unquote. The White House's so-called border czar, Tom Homan, has issued a warning to Democrats who are critical of ICE, its mass deportation campaign, or its violent encounters with the public. Shut your mouth or the quote-unquote bloodshed will continue. Homan issued the threat during an appearance Wednesday on Fox News.
I said if the hateful rhetoric didn't stop, there will be bloodshed. And I'm saying it right now. There's still going to be more bloodshed unless they shut their mouth and let ICE enforce the laws that they enacted.
The Trump administration moved to tighten visa rules for foreign students, journalists, and cultural exchange visitors. Student and cultural exchange visas would be limited to 4 years. Visas for journalists, which previously lasted for years, would now last up to 240 days. In the case of Chinese nationals, journalist visas would last up to 90 days. Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a video. And for more of our audience-supported journalism, go to democracynow.org, where you can download our news app, sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to the daily podcast, and so much more.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna end that video there. I love coming in the beginning, and playing Democracy Now! At the beginning, because what I love about their platform, and if y'all haven't checked them out, please do, it's really excellent, is that they do cover a lot of things that are happening globally, which a lot of times we don't know. We only know sometimes what is going on in our area, our country, our states, our cities. But there's a lot of things that are happening worldwide that are affecting people. And people are struggling through and fighting through just as much as we are. And I know I seen a comment in the chat when Raina, you were saying, do you worry about retaliation on your country? Absolutely. I absolutely worry about retaliation on my country. And when it comes to that, I can solemnly say that when it comes to what could happen, it's due to a lot of the things that, our leadership and our administration in this country has done, and how they've been moving and operating, basically picking fights and falling out with people. That is unprecedented. And so it can lead our country to being up, for retaliation and harm. And that's why it's so dangerous to have individuals like this, in this administration and in these positions, because this is what it literally can lead to. And we know that we're already dealing with World War III, and we know that we're also dealing with civil war in a lot of different places. And I can say allegedly, just for, the YouTube verbiage. But if we pay attention, how we've been studying very closely as to what's been going down, we clearly are in World War III, and we clearly are experiencing civil wars all over the place. And so, I just, I don't bite my tongue when it comes to the truth. It's what we see, it's what we know, it's what we've studied, and it's what we are experiencing. And I think it is terrible. Um, and like I was saying, when you asked that question, Raina, what do I do? I mean, there's not much really I can do right now. I just try to bring this type of stuff to awareness on the platform and do my content in this way, stand up and speak up for what is right. But what I do, that brings me peace is I pray. I do. And respectfully, I know everybody may not have the same spiritual or religious beliefs, and that is okay. And all of our different spiritual and religious beliefs is welcome here on my platform. But I pray. I pray to God. I pray every morning. I pray every afternoon. I pray every day. I pray for whatever prayer is needed for. And this is a huge one that prayer is needed for. Hey, Amy. Thanks for coming in, Amy. Thank you for popping in, girl. How you doing? How you doing? I hope everybody's having a lovely day and keeping cool because it is very, very hot. And I don't know what the temperatures is in your area, but I know the temperature is very hot where I'm at. Which I'm inside. I'm in the AC. But yeah, I just pray, and I just try to bring this up to, awareness and talk about it so we can have healthy conversations about it and get to a middle ground with what's going on. But for us as the people, it really has less to do about us. It's about the leadership. The leadership making the decisions and calling the shots and pulling the strings is what's putting us in this difficult place, in a very dangerous place for all of us. And people are struggling worldwide. People are going through different things in their countries, in their areas. And, I'll come up here and I'll talk about what's going on in the United States because that's where I reside. But I'm also not obtuse enough to think that other people in other countries are not struggling as well. And also have been for a very long period of time, right? So, the United States is getting kind of out of control and we're suffering very bad right now. However, what about the other countries that have been suffering real bad for years? And so that doesn't get talked about and brought to the forefront on mainstream medias. So shout out to the independent media spaces and platforms that bring that information out so we can, know the facts about it. And, I love having these conversations with people from all over the globe so we can talk about this as well. So I can learn from y'all, what's going on where you live, what's going on where you reside, which may be a different country from where I reside. But I know we all are going through something. But at the core, we all are human beings. We don't deserve a lot of these things that we're experiencing. We don't deserve any of these things that we're experiencing and dealing with right now. And nobody ever did. And I know that sometimes in this country, people can be very in a bubble because things are going well for you. You're not thinking about or, aware of how other people are living and what they're struggling through and going through. As long as it's good for you, you know what I mean? You don't care. And I made a choice that I don't want to be that type of person. And I know that I've been oblivious to those things previously. But I decided moving forward as an adult, as a mother and stuff now, I don't want to be that type of person. I want to know what's going on with all my brothers and sisters all over this big, beautiful globe. And I want to bring awareness to things that need to have awareness brought to them because it's not fair. Just because you living okay and everything's great for you and other people are struggling, I just feel as though it's the least we can do to bring it to awareness and let people know we're all not doing well at the same time. Just because you're doing well doesn't mean somebody else is doing well. So that's why I like to talk about global history and bring awareness. Exactly, Daisy. You said my brother used to take them. We walk in prayer. We walk in prayer. Sometimes it's all you can do because you want to find a way to do something, or you may have a desire to do something to bring some type of change and make things different. But it may not be in the cards for us at that time to be able to do anything to bring change or difference. But we want to put a shield over people. And I believe prayer and praying is putting a shield over all of us. We can pray for each other. We can pray for one another. Even if we can't do anything physically to make change or make it better, I know if we pray to the higher power can do something to make it better. So anyway, y'all, so after that first portion, and we at the 40-minute mark already, I'm going to take a really quick song break. And then we're going to get into our next topic, y'all. I don't know if you heard about this or not. But, you know, there's some things and some speculations being made about Mitch McConnell. And so I have some information I'm going to bring to y'all about that, as far as if he's still with us or not. And, you know, some details behind what's going on with Mitch McConnell. So we'll get into that. Let me go ahead and take this quick song break, y'all, and we will be right back. Thank you so much for joining me. I love and appreciate each and every one of you and your presence here on the platform. But yeah, let's take a little boppity bop real quick, and we'll be right back.
The soul of humanity cries. A roof above, a shelter from the storm, a gentle hand to keep a spirit warm, a plate of food, a mind that's free to learn, a simple peace, a righteous wage to earn. That's right. These are the needs to bedrock and the base, the sacred ground of the whole human race. But the screen is screaming, selling something cheap, while the real world babies cry themselves to sleep. Can't ignore it. We are human. Blood and bone and soul. Say it loud. With a right to be loved. The right to be loved. A right to be made whole. This is our slave. This is our sacred song. In the eyes of the creator. 'Cause where we all belong. We are human. Worth more than they can price. Beyond the hateful whispers and the loaded gun. Yeah, they're painting pictures, twisted and unreal, teaching our children how they ought to feel. All that value's in the label on your shoes, or the filtered life you desperately choose. They magnify the hate, they celebrate the greed, and plant a poison to suffocating weed. We gotta reach our children, pull them from the glow and show them a beauty that the media don't know. Let them know. They'll take the vision, the mission of the television, spitting division, a mental prison. Got the youth chasing lights, addicted to the feed. Ignore the hunger, the fundamental need. Nigga love your vitals on the digital stage, putting the future artists in a ritual cage. Now they gotta break the cycle, gotta cut the cord. The real word is powerful, mightier than the source. We teach them about their history, teach them about their grace, teach them about the power in every single face. Let's go. We are human. Loud and blown and soul. Everyone got a right to be loved. Got the right to be loved. A right to be made whole. This is our story. This is our sacred song. In the eyes of the creator. Yeah, they all belong. We are human. Worth more than they can price. The other hateful whispers and the loaded gun. We will build a world where every voice is heard. Every single one, from the suburbs to the curb. Love is not a whisper, but a mighty thundering word. A word of action, breaking leather chain. A word of power, washing out the pain. It ain't a feeling, it's a verb. It's watching you, for me, for them, for us, for you. 'Cause they just a track, just a call to action. For every mother, father, every single fraction of the unity, holding it down on the ground. Time to get loud, make a revolutionary sound. Look your child in the eye, tell them that they matter. Tell them this spirit, something that don't lie can shatter. For the mountain is the weapon, love is the shield, and the truth is the harvest. We gonna grow in this field, yeah. We are human. Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all. So thank y'all for rocking with me with that quick song break. And I really appreciate that y'all really like the music. It means a lot to me. But like I'm telling y'all for real, I mean what I say. When I write down these lyrics and stuff, it's just things that come to my mind and my heart. As far as things that I'm seeing happen in the world that we're struggling and we're fighting through, things that's happening on this platform that we're struggling and fighting through. So I just jot some things down, y'all, and I'll whip it up with AI assistance. It's AI assistance, but the lyrics come from my mind and my heart, and then the AI helps me bring it to fruition. But we're gonna go ahead and move on now, y'all. So let's talk about Mitch McConnell, okay? So there's a lot of speculation and talks around Mitch McConnell's proof of life. Is it real or is it a ruse? And I came across a video from another one of my favorites, Joy Reid, who used to previously work for MSNBC, but is now an independent journalist doing her thing. So shout out to Joy Reid. If you guys have not checked out her platform, you really should, because she has some really great conversations on there. So following a bizarre 8-paragraph statement and a highly produced Facebook photo with a timeline clashing Washington Post, Joy Reid is asking the real questions. Is the GOP scrambling to protect their Senate majority following Lindsey Graham's passing? We dive into, that political theater. And again, y'all may have heard this already. It is not hot off the press. I'm a little bit behind with the politics. I do apologize. But it is something very interesting that I did want to come and talk about with you all and share. So moving on to some absolute political theater. Over on Joy Reid's show, they exposed a wild situation involving Mitch McConnell. He suddenly dropped a massive 8-paragraph Facebook statement accompanied by a highly produced photo holding up a copy of the Washington Post. But here is the catch. There was absolutely no video, no audio clip, and the newspaper timeline didn't cleanly line up. It's giving total proof of life, Ruse, and it kind of smells like pure panic. Think about the timing of this powerful struggle. This is happening right as Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is signaling he might have the constitutional authority to appoint a Democrat replacement if McConnell is no longer here. Remember, following Lindsey Graham's recent passing, the GOP is in absolute damage control. They have razor thin Senate number games to play, and they are scrambling to push through the key confirmations like Todd Blanche. It really shows that, extreme lengths politicians will go to fake stability just to hold on to raw systemic power. So y'all, let me go ahead and pop this video up real quick. I don't know if y'all have seen this one or if you have, heard this yet. Again, like I said, I'm a little bit behind when it comes to the politics, and I'm trying to catch up. But we know that these things happen, y'all. And, it's kind of really sad that, you'll prop somebody up or, pretend that someone is still here just to hold a seat. I think people should be able to rest in peace. And if that's the case, then please let them do so, and not come up with all this propaganda. We can't be sure, it's all alleged. More details will be coming out as the days go on, y'all. But let's go ahead and get into this real quick, and I'll meet y'all over in the chat.
Okay. Mitch McConnell, or I'm going to say more accurately the way the media ought to really frame this. Mitch McConnell's official Facebook page, someone believed to be Mitch McConnell posted a photo of Mitch McConnell with his wife laying in what looks like some sort of a convalescent bed. And they posted this on Sunday as a kind of proof of life. In this proof of life, he claims this is a proof of life to show that he's not dead. And he says, when you elected me to a 7th term and made me the Commonwealth's longest serving senator, you did so trusting that I'd keep showing up to fight for you every day. And over the past several weeks, Elaine, that's Elaine Chao, his wife, and I have appreciated both your well wishes and your honest questions about what was keeping me away from the Senate. So he says, you know how folks of my generation often hesitate to share the vulnerability that comes with growing older. Even in the public eye, I feel that same instinct. I can't help it. Okay, you've been freezing in public like multiple times. But he claims that he took a fall, which landed me in the hospital. My doctors have confirmed that I didn't break any bones or suffer a concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages, but I was briefly unconscious and was taken to the hospital while receiving excellent care over the past several weeks. I've also had to deal with a mild case of pneumonia. I can tell you that the comments under that post were actually quite hilarious. People saying, you know, an 8-paragraph written post, maybe post a video. That might be more convincing to convince people that you're still of this world. People were saying, oh, now I believe in ghosts. People saying, how about if you do an interview? Maybe do a phone interview, which I actually wouldn't believe either, because AI, you can fake people's voice. You need to do an interview, sir. If you are capable of sitting up in your convalescent bed and typing out, and would you put it back up, Jason? This is like an 8-paragraph opus. You couldn't have just taken that same cell phone and talked into the video, done a video, used your voice and spoken. I will tell you that somebody who would know said to me that if you look at the picture, it's clear that he has makeup on, that somebody powdered or made up his face. You can see that Elaine Chao is made up. People posted, we sort of look younger in that video. And so people aren't buying it. People are not buying it. Now, I will note that we've done a deep dive. I went into a deep wormhole with a good colleague of mine here at the Joy Reid Show. And we were able to pull up what appears to be the Washington Post front page of the sports section on Sunday that appears to be the same as the newspaper that Proof of Life Mitch is holding in his hand. Weirdly enough, some people in the comments were saying, why don't you hold that paper up so we can see it like a real Proof of Life, which he didn't do, but we were able to discern. You can see that paper right in the corner. He's got his hand on it to try to prove that this is taken that day. It's Sunday. And the Sunday cover of the sports section of the Washington Post, he lives in Washington, not Kentucky, that is the picture. It seems to match. The headline to the right seems to match. So, could be nothing, right? There's also the Washington Post digital version of the story, which is dated the 12th, and it is posted at 8 p.m. So maybe it's an update to the story. So people are looking at that and saying, oh, that's weird, because the post on Facebook is at about 6 p.m. and then this post is at about 8 p.m. It's not that one. It is it is E12. Yeah, there we go. So that is the exact same story about Chris Hakopian and the MLB draft. And it's the same picture, but the timing of it is 8 p.m. rather than the morning when that physical paper would have come out. So it could be nothing, right? It could be nothing. I will note that Donald Trump called in his new thing he gets to do and to meet the press, where Lindsey Graham was supposed to be making his 1,020th appearance. He was supposed to be on Sunday. And he also called into CNN, where he told Jake Tapper that he loved Lindsey, but he feels like Lindsey wanted to stay at war forever. And then he did this weird thing that was so humiliating that I feel uncomfortable almost playing it, because I just feel humiliated on Jake Tapper's behalf. This was how the interview with Jake Tapper ended. Take a look.
Iran has declared the Strait of Hormuz closed. Is that true, Mr. President?
It's open as far as we're concerned. Don't talk about it. Talk about the reason that you asked me to speak.
Okay. We appreciate your time, sir. Well, I know you don't want to talk about any other issues out of respect for Lindsey Graham, but we would love to have you back sometime, because I do have a lot of other questions for you, sir.
Sure. We'll do that.
Thank you for calling in.
We're trying to have CNN go in a normal path, and we'll do that.
Well, I'm on a normal path right here, sir, and I appreciate your time. And thank you for calling in.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much. We'll be right back after this quick break.
This gross, weird deference. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm on a normal path, sir. Yes, sir. I'm so sorry I asked you a question that you didn't like, sir. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. He also was on Meet the Press when he called in and was told, don't ask me that question. And he's also told by Kristen Welker, yes, sir, we'll please come back so we can ask you that question. The mainstream media has got to stop kissing this man's ass. Please, for the love of God. But I want to play one more clip. I know we're going a tiny bit over, but the other reason that people are quite dubious about this Facebook post is that the Facebook post came not long after the governor of Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear, gave an interview to Reverend Al Sharpton on Ms. Now. And let me play you a piece of that interview.
Make some news right here, Reverend. Our support someone before a special election that they pass not one but two laws. They tried at first to say they could submit a list of 3 people to me from the Republican Party and I'd have to pick. Now they say I can't fill a vacancy, but I have to call a special election. But here's the thing. There is a Kentucky constitutional provision that says that I appoint all state officers when there's a vacancy. The question is, does that apply to federal offices? Well, before there was ever a law in Kentucky on how this would work, multiple appointments were made by governors, assuming under that provision. So if we end up there, and I hope we don't, I hope Senator McConnell will provide proof of life tomorrow and that we could all move on. There's at least going to be probably a little disagreement.
So you would, if that became necessary, you would appoint someone if it became necessary to.
Well, that we need, but if he is incapacitated, if there is a vacancy, I will look at my authority as governor to make sure that we are represented as Kentuckians. And certainly I'll take a strong look at that section of our Kentucky Constitution.
So that happened. And then shortly after that interview, I believe Reverend Sharpton's show is on at 5 o'clock, about 6 o'clock, that Facebook post went up. So they're trying to do proof of life because what this is about, and this is the reason that we're saying that, hell hath no fury like democracy scorned, is that this is the Republican Party at the national level and at the state level attempting to undermine democracy. Republicans currently have 53 seats. If you take out the Lindsey Graham seat, which his sister will now hold on to for now, that temporarily holds that seat, but they have to have a special election. He was running for re-election, meaning they must have a special election. So in November, we will now have a Lindsey Graham-less race in South Carolina in which Democrats feel they fielded a pretty strong candidate. They're now going to have to find someone, maybe it's the sister, to run against Lindsey Graham to try to hold on to that 53rd seat. They do not want Mitch McConnell's seat to be vacant, not only because they fear losing their overall majority, but because they want to confirm Todd Blanche. But there's another outlet. It's called the Kentucky Lantern. I don't know if you can even pull it up, Jason, if you might have gotten it, but C2, I didn't use it, C2. The Kentucky Lantern also received that image of Mitch McConnell in the bed next to Elaine Chao, sitting next to him. In their story, they point out, there it is. And this is what they say in the Kentucky Lantern. Around the same time as the Facebook post, that went up on this local website called the Kentucky Lantern. And it says here, quote, at the advice of his doctors, McConnell will not return to voting in the Senate floor soon. The chamber is set to reconvene on Monday. So they point out that he is not going to return and vote. So that means John Thune, who's the Senate Majority Leader, has 52 votes. And it would have been 51 if Lindsey's seat had not been immediately filled by the governor of South Carolina. Their numbers are dwindling. Now, I will note that you can probably say that they still have 52 because we can't count on John Fetterman. John Fetterman is a Democrat in name only, but it's highly likely that if the Todd Blanche nomination comes before him, that fool is so corrupted, he's going to vote for him. But it's not clear that every Republican is going to vote for Todd Blanche. It's not clear that John Cornyn feels like he owes Donald Trump a damn thing. Because Donald Trump went for Paxton, not him, and he's now out of a job. John Cornyn is free. John Cornyn is free to do whatever he wants. And we know that there is a lot of distaste for Donald Trump undercover inside the Republican Party. They ain't really friends. Even Lindsey Graham. Miss Lindsey wasn't even his real friend. He just was using him to get war. If I'm John Cornyn, I'm saying, F you, Trump. You screwed me. Let me go ahead and screw you and not give you the absolute impunity that a Todd Blanche Attorney General, that Attorney General Todd Blanche would give you. Because remember, this is not about a confirmation. This is about consolidation of power. And if John Cornyn decides that he doesn't want.
So Joy Reid is breaking it down as she always does, y'all. And, you know, I really love Joy Reid. Y'all know I listen to her very often. But I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm going to read y'all a few things so we can get more of an understanding of what is happening, right? So the timing of this proof of life debate is directly tied to the upcoming general election that is going to be held on November 3rd, 2026. So because Senator McConnell already announced that his current term will be his last, Kentucky is already in the middle of a high-stakes campaign cycle to fill that open seat. Primaries were held back in May, setting up a November showdown between Republican Congressman Andy Barr and the Democratic former state representative Charles Booker. The exact calendar date of a potential vacancy completely rewrites how that seat is handled before the November election. So we have the August 3rd cutoff. And this is based off of Kentucky. I don't live in Kentucky, but this is what my research is. So under Kentucky's updated 2024 law, if a Senate seat becomes vacant more than 3 months before the general election, meaning on or before August 3rd of 2026, it triggers a rapid special election. The winner of that special election would immediately take the seat to finish out the remainder of McConnell's term until January 2027. Now, we have the post-August 3rd scenario. If the vacancy happens after August 3rd, it falls within that tight 3-month window before the general election. This creates an entirely different layer of political chaos, as the state would have to navigate a temporary vacancy or emergency procedures while the regular election is already locked into the November ballot. Now, here's the strategic imperative. Because the state legislature stripped the governor of his quick appointed power and replaced it with mandatory elections, any immediate vacancy before August 3rd means the seat sits completely empty until a special vote can be organized. With the Senate majority already resting on razor-thin margins, especially following the sudden passing of Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican leadership cannot afford to have a reliable conservative seat sit vacant and unable to the vote during critical late summer legislative sessions. Keeping McConnell officially active and in office ensures the party maintains its voting numbers and prevents a high-stakes, unpredictable special election scramble right before the planned November midterms. So based off of that additional information, y'all, that is basically why, questions are coming now around why they are, trying to basically cover up and not be honest about, certain individuals no longer being with us, because there's political stakes involved. This doesn't have to do with someone passing on to glory. Like I said, RIP when it comes to that. But a lot of this is due to political stakes because these seats are fought for very hard, and is whether the people that's getting the seat is somebody that they want in that seat or somebody that they don't want in that seat, because they're going to fight for what the people want and what is right, or is it going to be somebody that gets that seat that is going to play the game? And so, they want to have the people in the seats that's playing the game. More people in seats playing games than more people that's fighting for what's right for the people. That's just, we've seen that. That's how they play it. And these seats are like really, they're hot commodity. And, they'll do anything and everything to keep a seat having the person that they want to sit in it, right? And so, you know, it's all nasty work. It's all nasty work, y'all. And these are the games they play. Let's keep going with the video. Y'all, I'm gonna meet y'all in the chat. What's up, Happy Life? How you doing?
The last thing people remember about his ass, that he affirmed the nomination of the man who finally put the nail in the coffin of the Department of Justice, the man who finally let all the Epstein rapists, child rapists go free, the man who will let Ghislaine Maxwell out of prison and hand out $1.8 billion to the January 6th cop beaters. That you, as John Cornyn, he might say, you know what, I don't want that to be my grand closing, because I'm looking at Lindsey Graham's grand closing and it's cowardice and betrayal and bootlicking. It's all he's going to be known for. What do you want to be known for, John Cornyn? Maybe you want to be known for something else. Maybe you can say no to Donald Trump. He said no to you. If I'm Tom Tillis in North Carolina, I'm the state that's trying to be the good Carolina, the state that's not racist, the state that's trying to have a corridor that's all about tech. Maybe, and he's retiring and he stood against Trump before, maybe he says, you know what, I don't want my grand closing to be about letting the most corrupt attorney general ever to take office since the Nixon era get in there and get that taxpayer funded job from which he could do more corruption, arrest more innocent Americans, fail to investigate civil rights violations, and allow Donald Trump to have complete impunity, never to be investigated along with his family and friends for the rest of their lives. No audits, no investigations. Steal as much money as you want from idiot MAGAs who buy your stupid crypto coin, commit as many crimes as you want, free of ever having to ever be investigated thanks to Todd Blanche. Maybe if I'm, maybe I'm in Tom Tillis, I say I don't want no part today. Maybe if I'm Bernie Moreno and I already got this asshole that was married to my daughter throwing hot boiling water on her and then literally suing her for defamation, maybe I'm like Republican Party, maybe you're not looking out for me and my family. Maybe I don't want to vote with you. And there is there is an election coming up in the great state of Ohio. Maybe you say to yourself, you know what, our statewide voters might be one to turn these Republicans out. Maybe I don't want to be one of them. Maybe if I'm Lisa Murkowski and every so often I do the right thing, I say maybe this is one of those other times. I voted for all the bad guys that Donald Trump put up, all the idiots, the incompetents, the fools who are poisoning us, who are destroying the Department of Health. We have no Department of Health. Whatever disease wants to run wild in America because we got Dr. Oz and RFK Jr. in charge. These people voted for Pete Hegseth, the most incompetent fool, a war criminal, somebody who's bound for The Hague. It is inevitable he will wind up at The Hague, killing people on the Caribbean Sea, committing war crimes in Iran, dropping bomb on schools, all the bad things, and just being an embarrassing idiot, embarrassing himself every day. A lot of these people voted for that guy. Maybe you're like, maybe I don't want to vote for one more of those idiots. Maybe I want to say no. Maybe Lisa Murkowski's like, I want to be moral. Or maybe I'm Susan Collins and I see the damned if I do, damned if I don't situation I'm facing in Maine, where even with Graham Plattner gone, the person who takes his place is likely going to poll at least even to me or ahead of me because I am rotten. I'm a rotten soul. I'm a person who does not deserve the job I have, does not deserve to be reelected.
Well, according to Harry Ensign, even a generic Democrat after Plant has been gone is like 8 points ahead of.
And if the Democrats are smart, and they pick somebody, as I said before, and we'll say again, and people get mad, but if they put somebody in who matches the energy that Graham Plattner brought to the table in fighting for working people and does not come in and say, APEC today, APEC tomorrow, APEC forever. If they put someone in who cares about the people of Maine that can't afford their groceries, that can't afford their rent, that can't afford their mortgages, who have bad education for their kids and are like, I need change. If they put a change Democrat, a liberated Democrat in office, she's cooked. Because Susan Collins is terrible. She doesn't deserve to be a senator. She doesn't deserve to be in office. And if the Democrats are smart and they replace it with somebody good and somebody that people can rally behind and get excited about, be passionate about, she's cooked. So maybe she says the one way I can save my job is maybe I won't vote for Todd Blanche. This is a Republican civil war in the making because they are now panicking because their elderly geriatrics are passing away. And they now have to figure out how do they survive and stay in power and keep their 6-year Senate jobs just in case Democrats get smart and nominate people who actually have a backbone. Nominate the El Sayeds of the world, the Abdul El Sayeds of the world, who will actually fight for working people. Nominate people who actually care about the working class, care about people who are minorities, people who are racial minorities and gender minorities, and care about regular folks who just can't afford shit. maybe, Democrats get smart and they take over. So now that vote for Todd Blanche becomes a little more expensive. If we play it right, it ain't just us. MAGA, do y'all want all your money going to Israel? Ask yourselves the question, MAGA. Are you tired yet? Are you winning enough yet with Donald Trump and his family becoming billionaires? Well, you're broke. You're becoming a brokenaire while they're becoming a billionaire. Trump is marching on his way to be a trillionaire. Well, your ass can't even afford gas. He's scamming you out of crypto. He's making you buy his merch and he's sending you not even the phone. You bought the phone and the phone doesn't even come. You're getting suckered. Maybe you don't want that anymore. So maybe voting for Todd Blanche is not the smartest move. Susan Collins, John Cornyn, any of you. And what is the lady in the new Lady Graham? they call the old one Lady Graham. The new Lady Graham, the sister. Well, how are you going to vote? Do you even get to vote? Do you even know what's happening in the Senate? You're just taking the job because you're his sister. A little nepotism. So I'm just saying that it is, they have the votes. Technically, they do have the votes. They have 52 votes. Plus Fetterman, who's a traitor. They don't necessarily have to have 50 votes. They don't necessarily have to. Because I think that the Todd Blanche nomination, since he has said, or at least he said he will not foreclose the idea of handing out tax money to January 6ers who beat up police. Well, the fund the police people are going to have a challenge because a lot of their own voters say, wait a minute, you can't use my tax dollars to pay these goons. Why are they getting money? Why are the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers getting money and I don't get any money? That's how we did Romney My Slush Fund. Why should cop beaters get money? People who shat in our Capitol and tried to lynch the vice president and tried to lynch Nancy Pelosi. Why did they get a check? And even a lot of MAGA are like, this is bullshit. Why are the Epstein files not fully released? And why are the pedophiles still running shit? Why are the pedophiles still running wild? Are they going to release the names of the pedophiles? Apparently not. Yes, it's a stop the steal moment. And stopping the steal starts in November, but it starts with electing the kind of Democrats who will actually stop the steal and not just say the uniforms have changed, calm down and go back and watch Tubi. Everything's fine now. We're in charge and we're not going to do shit, but at least we're Democrats. If you elect people who do something other than that, who Mom Donnie it, who say, no, we're not just going to come in with the blue uniform. We're going to come in and change shit. People are going to go to jail. These hearings are going to result in referrals for criminal prosecution. We're going to shut down the Trump money train. Trump and his idiot sons are not going to continue to get rich off our tax money. We're going to shut down the money train. The money train is going to get turned off. We're going to put the Capitol back the way it was. Donald Trump is going to stop his stupid renovations. He's going to, they rebranded the poor reflectable for the 8th time. Just stop, Trump. Stop fixing things. Leave it alone. Stop putting gold gilt all over the damn White House. Just stop. Stop spending our money. We're being robbed blind. Stop the steal. So here's the chance to stop the steal.
Back to the basics, grassroots level. Let me dig a little deeper with the shovel. Plenty can't tell the forest from the trees, and I'm hard to detect.
All right, y'all. So that's the end of the commentary that Joy Reid had about that entire situation. And so I just went ahead and dropped that down. But what I'm gonna do is go ahead and share, with you guys, the link to her channel or whatnot, into this video. Y'all want her link? Do you want the link to her channel or to this video? Let me just do her channel link. Hold on. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Hold on, real quick. But yeah, she's really dope. I love Joy Reid. And like I said, she used to work over at MSNBC. And, there were some bumpings of heads that went on over there because of, y'all see how she speaks and what she talks about, what she stands for. Sometimes it's like, they don't, or mainstream media, they don't want you to speak out that way, with that level of passion, intensity, and truth, honestly. It's like you can be swayed one way or the other because of what type of, network that you're working for. And so, you have to sometimes bite your tongue and you can't say everything that you want to say and keep it as real as you want to say. This is the link right here, Daisy, that I just put in the chat. That's to her channel. So check out her channel. Joy Reid is dope. And I'm so glad to see now that, she has the freedom, like on her own independent network and platform to be able to bring, politics, information, all kinds of things like that to us that we really need to hear without being, told, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, oh, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. Because that's what a lot of people that have worked in mainstream media, especially when it comes to news stations and things of that nature, have had to deal with. You know, they have to be silenced. They can't be their real authentic selves. And they can't keep it 100. So shout out to people like Joy Reid, shout out to people like Don Lemon. And there's many others that have decided to, you know, well, not even necessarily decided, but had to figure it out. They were like either quit or fired. And they said, well, we're going to pivot. We're going to do our own thing. And a lot of people still support and rock with them because it's their personality, their energy, who they are as a person. Always bet on yourself. You will be surprised. You can put your own energy and your own personality into other people's companies and businesses, and they are benefiting from it. And you don't even realize that you're the prize. And when you leave and you see how many people really like you and gravitate towards you and bet on you without those companies and organizations, you know, it really is a eye-opening moment that you bring a lot to the table and you always have to bet on yourself. So that's why I'm always proud to see, you know, these independent journalists when they do sometimes lead, you know, networks and stations and corporations and organizations that they worked in previously. But they still are able to hold a crowd. They still have supporters. They still have people that want to come to hear what they have to say because they have the juice. And we have to understand that we got the juice, y'all. No matter who we are and what we do, we have the juice. We have to bet on ourselves each time. But anyway, that's the link right there, y'all, in the chat that I put. If y'all want to go over and check out Joy Reid's platform, she's really dope. I listen to her all the time, and I'm so happy to see her so free now and able to just like really break it down the way it needs to be broke down. So shout out to that, y'all. But we will be getting into our next topic here, y'all, because we're moving right along. I don't want to keep y'all too long. It's a Friday, y'all. I don't want to keep y'all too long on a Friday. It's the weekend is upon us. We got to go do fun things. We got to have a good time. I don't want to bore y'all with politics. And y'all know I typically don't do politics on a Friday, but I've been so behind, so I wanted to come and bring a little bit of political coverage today. So the next thing we'll be getting into, child, and this is, you know, comes with a comedic reverence. And so again, shout out to Reese Waters. I love Reese Waters. I will put his link in the chat to his channel as well. If y'all want to go over and follow him and support him, you really should, because he's dope. He's been a stand-up comedian previously, and now when he does his content, he adds his stand-up comedy skills, and he pairs that with talking about some severity when it comes to politics and mixes it all up in a great blend of a smoothie, and I love it. I love every minute of it. But he has some things to show or whatnot and cover when it comes to Trump supporters. Ask the quiet part out loud. So basically saying the quiet part out loud, unpacking some viral clips with Reese Waters. Independent powerhouse, Reese Waters is back at it, exposing the unfiltered jaw-dropping statements coming straight from the political rallies. We analyzed a viral clip of Trump supporters saying exactly what they mean when they think no one is holding them accountable. So we have a little bit of that video that I want to share with y'all as well. So let me go ahead and get that popped up. But before we get into that, y'all, let's go ahead and take a quick song break, and we will be right back while I get everything set up. Y'all rock with me if you can, and I will be right back. I won't take too long, I promise. All right, y'all, give me just a sec.
Yeah. Every time I think we finally figured it out. Somebody let pride walk in. Somebody let ego take the wheel. Damn. We're stronger together. Yeah. We're stronger together. Yeah. We started with a vision, lift each other high. Turn these little channels into reasons people smile. Shared every live stream, dropped each other's names. Now we're acting like we're strangers in the game. Clicks over compassion, views over truth. Everybody chasing numbers, who's chasing the youth? Every week another friendship breaking at the seams. How we building kingdoms if we're tearing up the team? We get so close, I can almost see it. One big family, everybody eating. Then pride shows up and the love disappear. Now all I hear is silence in my ear. Damn, 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 damn. Why we always fall apart? Damn, 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 damn. Who taught us to guard our hearts? We rise together, then divide again. I still believe we can still win. But damn, damn, it hurts to watch. Everybody say we family, till the camera stop rolling. Everybody say I love you, till somebody else is growing. One blessing shouldn't threaten mine. God made enough sunlight for everybody to shine. Somebody getting 50 views, somebody getting 50,000. While we counting blessings like love is running out, then what if your breakthrough was connected to my hand? What if heaven's waiting for us to understand? Maybe the algorithm ain't the enemy. Maybe fear is, maybe competition is. Maybe we're starving for applause when we should be feeding purpose. I ain't perfect, I got scars too. I misunderstood people, people misunderstood me too. But if we never heal, we'll repeat the pain. Different faces, same old game. Children watching, learning from my way. Seeing grown folks go each other away. What are we teaching? What's left behind? If all they remember is how we couldn't unify. Damn, damn, damn. I can almost hear the future calling. Damn, damn, damn. Why we keep stumbling when we're walking? There's room for me, there's room for you. Success ain't smaller because somebody else broke through. One light can start another. One voice can lift another. One dream can wake a nation if we stop competing and start creating. One day, the subscribers won't matter, the views won't matter, the money won't matter. People will remember who made them feel seen, who reached back instead of reaching over. Maybe unity isn't something we wait for. Maybe it's something we become. We're still here. We're still family. We can still get it right. Damn, damn. But I still believe. But I still believe.
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with me with that quick little song break. I appreciate it. I hope y'all like it. But yeah, I was watching the comments as well while getting everything set up. But yes, unity is definitely the answer. And that's just what I choose to believe in my heart and how I want to move and operate. And I think that some people are not fully understanding that, and it may be new or it may seem like it's off wing, but it's not. Like, yes, I'm a very pro-Black person. Yes, I'm an activist spirit type person. Yes, I love politics and I want to know what's going on in the world around us globally. And I'll speak on what needs to be spoken on, and have conversations with anyone, serious ones, you know, to really get to the bottom and the meat and potatoes of things. But just because you're a pro-Black doesn't mean you're anti anything else. And I just want to keep reiterating that, because you know how things happen on this platform. Narratives will get spent, and things will be said, and you know, all of the stuff. But I've made that very clear. I believe I made that very clear of my presence being here on this platform. And sometimes difficult things and conversations have to be had. Sometimes heads will get bumped, and maybe even arguments will transpire. But we really are just trying to work and navigate through these tense situations. And my goal at the end of even a argument is that we come to a better understanding of who we are as a people and get to some type of common ground so we can, coexist together better and, just have a better understanding of one another and a better experience while we're together and with one another. And I know that's not going to be easy because we're all so very different. And this is a global platform. We all come from different walks of life, different countries, different backgrounds. And there's a lot that we can learn about one another, but the learning process has to take place. And there has to be somebody willing to put a platform in place for us to have the space to do it. And so that's all my goal has ever been and what it continues to be. And I'm fighting for it harder now more than ever because of the things that we are experiencing in our government structures, not just in my country, but globally. And I'm fighting for it harder than ever now because I have a little child that has to grow up in this world maybe years after I'm no longer here. And I just want the world to be a better place for the babies, for the kids, for the children, a safer place, a more understanding place, And I have all of these dreams and hopes and, things of that nature. And sometimes I got to get out here and fight, y'all. Yeah, I'll be fighting sometimes. Y'all might find me on the front lines and I'm throwing bows. But it's not really at the core what I desire to do. It's just necessary sometimes, like, child. Sometimes you got to fight. But what I'd rather do is unify. Hopefully people will understand that. The ones who get it, get it. The ones who don't. And the ones who may come around, may come around. But it's really all peace and love. I just want to see us be a better people. That's all, y'all. But anyway, I ain't going to talk to y'all. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic. Like I told you, this is Reese Waters right here. And so, Trump supporters, they got a lot to say, child. And they telling it how it is, and their true colors is coming out. And so he does a really great coverage on that with a dose of comedy. We're not going to watch all of it, y'all, because I can't play the whole video. I'm going to play a little bit and meet y'all in the chat. And then, we'll have some commentary in between about it. And then after that, we do have to get back into, a little bit of updates when it comes to Nolan Wells. We'll talk about a little bit of that as well. And then we'll wrap this up and let y'all start y'all weekend because everybody's ready to get into the weekend vibes. So, y'all, let's get into it. I'm going to meet y'all in the chat.
That's not fair. There's so much diversity in the new recruits sworn into the DOJ's Civil Rights Division. There are white men, white women, tall white people, short white people with glasses, white people without glasses, white people with blonde hair, and white brunettes. I think I saw some white redheads too. I'm pretty sure I saw some white redheads, and some of the white people was bald. So yeah, it looked. Yeah, no, it had all the diversity of a cocktail party at the Millers. That's exactly what we got going on. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics.
Donald Trump is going to do whatever the he can to interfere with our elections. Why? Because he knows he's going to lose. And losing for him isn't just losing. It's existential. It's subpoenas, oversight, investigations, guardrails, accountability, potential impeachment. It's the entire corrupt house of cards he spent years building collapsing onto his saggy, stupid, spray-tanned head. So ask yourself this. What wouldn't he do?
Well, apparently any form of physical exercise, like a jog around the block, picking up a book, anything that might break a sweat is apparently what he wouldn't do. But just hold on, JoJo. No, we gonna slow cook this one. I'm gonna set you up. And I'm going to let you close the show. Like the coach told me they used to do when I was playing boys and girls club basketball. He said it got to be a 20-point game with less than a minute left. Then they bring me in. No, let's start here, because a wise woman once said,
see, I don't understand how people can be afraid of a fat, elderly man who wears apricot makeup, his hair done up like Tippi Hedren in The Birds.
Dang. Hey, E.G. and Carol, you went into the bag for that Tippi Hedren, didn't you? I was going to go Sherman Hemsley, but sure enough, yeah, hey, I ain't mad at you. That wasn't what I was referring to, but talk that talk. You got any more of that bag?
And sits in a courtroom and moans and groans and complains and snorts when the jury got a load of him. They were mesmerized. You have never seen anything like it. He never sat still, and he talked the entire time within earshot of the jury. He belittled Alina Habba Esquire, his own attorney. He would spit as he was talking. He didn't smell so good.
Oh, we heard about that. Yeah, we definitely heard about that. Well, congratulations for you. One, for the fresh air, but two, what's that? Over $5 million? How about that? Million. E. Jean Carroll was just paid more than $5.6 million by the sitting president of the United States after a jury found him liable for abusing her, and a federal judge clarified what he did was even worse. That should be the biggest story in the country today. She took him to court and she won. It absolutely should be the biggest story in the country today. But one thing that we have learned in this era of America, Trump's America, it always gets worse, doesn't it? No, this is what a wise woman once said.
How obviously racist do we have to be? Mm-hmm. Or somebody says, wait, now, that's not right. I think it's not right. But is there any line in the sand? Just tell me this.
Yeah. It's a what?
Any line in the sand when Trump asks you and your cohorts to do something, and it's one step too far. Is there one for you?
I think a violation of the Constitution.
Oh, that's been done.
Oh. A fed-up Trump supporter at a Missouri town hall asked Rep. Mark Alford, how obviously racist do we have to be? Is there any line in the sand one step too far? Ah, that's right. And that's going to be the question of the day. How racist do we have to be? And no, rank and file MAGAs, that ain't a challenge. But keep that in mind when you see the Republican governor of South Carolina has already appointed Lindsey Graham's sister to replace him in the Senate.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Appointing Lindsey Graham's sister as interim senator is textbook nepotism. A U.S. Senate seat isn't a family inheritance. It's a position of public trust that should go to someone selected for their qualifications, record, and ability to represent South Carolinians, not their last name. This move reeks of insider favoritism and dynastic politics. Even as a temporary appointment, it sends the message that connections trump merit. Voters deserve better. Let me translate that for the MAGAs in the back. Those that came along after they destroyed the education system. South Carolina now has a DEI hire for senator. Prove me wrong. Huh? Prove me wrong. And to think they told me this was a populist movement. They told me that he came to make the rank and file MAGAs great again. But this is how they're moving. So you classify the Democrats as being elitist, How y'all, I'm just trying to figure out how this is landing with y'all. And then I want to trump that and ask this, because the elected mayor of Baltimore was called a DEI hire. Was he not? He certainly was called a DEI hire. Lisa Cook, with her qualifications, was called a DEI hire. Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris were called DEI hires. Now help me with this one, MAGA. What made them DEI hires, but a woman who is literally being handed a Senate seat because of her relationship to the man who previously occupied it is not?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? What? English, mother.
What's that? Hey, even Erica Kirk said she not qualified.
How obviously racist do we have to be? Or somebody says, wait, now, that's not right.
They got rid of DEI to hire people based on merit, then turn around and hire Lindsey Graham's sister for senator simply because she's Lindsey Graham's sister. And Lindsey Graham's sister randomly gets his job because he died. Do I become a neuroscientist at Cornell when my sister dies? Because I'm not ready for that. Thank goodness things don't work that way, because I either have to have been a teacher or an engineer, a technical writer. And y'all don't want me around them kids nor that equipment. Y'all don't want no parts of that. So no, this is definitely the safest place for me to be. But speaking of safe places to be, MAGAs, I don't know why y'all are feeling so safe in this situation right about now. You know, in this merit-based society that they have successfully convinced you should exclude us, but somehow includes you. Let me put this in terms that you might be able to understand, right? Because I understand how, right-wing family values works. You know what I mean? I know a lot of y'all got families cross town. A lot of y'all be picking up all sorts of nasty charges, things of that nature. Okay. So let's say you got a side piece. I knew it. So let's say you got a side piece. What makes a good side piece? What makes a good side piece? Somebody that's reliably there, somebody that don't ask you for nothing, somebody who will willingly eat all of the disrespect and degradation that potentially might come their way by virtue of them being deprioritized under your actual family. Now let's discuss you guys, MAGAs, because the powers that be have convinced you that you have a place in their world, not a place that you've seen at all. In fact, this economy looks like y'all right around here with us, which is exactly how we see it. But let's keep this going. So they have convinced y'all that y'all have a place in their house, a place you have never been given. But time after time, you are continually passed over as they cycle one another through the echelons of power and wealth. So what exactly does that make y'all in this equation? A side piece, exactly. And how does that end? How does that end? Are y'all ready to grapple with that? Hey man, I don't know why you saying all them words. They a side piece because they getting fucked. Congratulations to Senator Darlene Graham Nordone on this historic achievement. Her appointment marks a significant milestone for our state. A 2009 graduate of South Carolina State University, Senator Graham Nordone becomes the first woman and the first HBCU graduate to represent South Carolina in the U.S. Senate. This is a testament to the progress our nation continues to make in expanding opportunities for women to serve at the highest levels of public office. I feel certain her historic accomplishment will inspire generations of South Carolinians to believe that no barrier is beyond reach and wish her Godspeed. Rep. James Clyburn. Clyburn, you wrote this? See, that's why the leftists be dragging you. This is exactly why the leftists be dragging you right here, talking about some will inspire generations of South Carolinians to believe no barrier is beyond reach. How about the first HBCU graduate, as you have stated, to occupy this seat is a white lady? What you talking about? What you talking about? No barrier is beyond reach. They handed, huh? Get on my nerves with that.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
And by the way, y'all taking up these HBCU seats is exactly why we still on White and Proud's helmet. And I'm not through with that. I'm circling the block. Now, speaking of circling the block, right? Because you remember at MAGAs how you guys are occupying the side piece seat right about now. How about the fact that you guys have already named and seated a replacement for Lindsey Graham while y'all out here playing Where's Waldo with Mitch McConnell?
We might make some news right here, Reverend. Our Republican supermajority has been so worried about me being able to potentially support someone before a special election that they passed not one but two laws. They tried at first to say they could submit a list of 3 people to me from the Republican Party, and I'd have to pick. Now they say I can't fill a vacancy.
Now here's the part where I need to address the patriots in the room. You know, all the patriots talking about the Constitution and the ideals set forth by the founding fathers. Representation, right? Representation, right? We out here openly playing games with people's representation, got a whole state with none in Kentucky so y'all can play political football, and we not supposed to notice? No, y'all got to come off all them patriot tags in your handles. Come up off the flags, come up off the don't tread on me. I want it all. I want it, because apparently we don't believe in democracy no more. Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, wait, but that's right. I forgot. Election fraud, right?
I think it's ironic that we control the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House, and we're yelling election fraud. I mean, we won all the damn elections, and we're in charge, and what are we doing with it? We're bankrupting the country. We're starting new wars. We're violating the Constitution. We're not cracking down on the fraud. The problem is not the elections. We won the damn elections. The problem is we're wasting our opportunity that the voters gave us. And the Republicans are going to pay for that in November. It'll be an absolute shellacking if they don't wake up.
Oh, I said Kentucky. I knew Thomas Massey would come running. You know, him and Rick Pitino, but Rick Pitino ran out of gas after like 2-3 minutes, apparently. He is 100% right. So we talking about election fraud at a time when we occupy all the seats. Now, under normal circumstances, it wouldn't make any logical sense to call for election fraud, regardless of the fact that there's scant evidence to any, but given the fact that we have, in fact, won all the elections. But that's how rare logic and common sense is, to the point where I got to start a whole stream of videos called Street Politics. Because y'all don't understand basic common sense, like the fact that if in a situation we feel like our rights had been violated, well, at least we have a civil rights division of the Department of Justice to get our back, don't we?
What is missing here from these new recruits to the Civil Rights Division? Bingo.
Hey, Charles Blow. Hey, that's not fair. There's so much diversity in the new recruits sworn into the DOJ's Civil Rights Division. There are white men, white women, tall white people, short white people with glasses, white people without glasses, white people with blonde hair, and white brunettes. I think I saw some white redheads too. I'm pretty sure I saw some white redheads, and some of the white people was bald. So yeah, it looked, it had all the diversity of a cocktail party at the Millers. That's exactly what we got going on. Ma'am, one more time.
How obviously racist do we have to be? Or somebody says, wait, now that's not right.
And to think, we are just coming off of a holiday where MAGA was admonishing Democrats and liberals and leftists for not participating in Freedom 250, where they just wanted to celebrate America. They were just out here on their high horse talking about we're celebrating all of America. You know, we don't even need to get to the Patriot Front and the Confederate flag of it all. How about openly disenfranchising whole swaths of the country while swearing there's election fraud because you know they about to get in that ass?
He's right, you know.
And a civil rights division that looks like Stephen Miller's living room.
Wait a minute. I'm white.
Let me see. Let me get a white couch. Let me get some white carpet. I'm going to get a white rug on top of that white carpet. Then let me get some white pillows up there. I want to get, we're going to paint the whole ceiling white. Let's go ahead and paint the fireplace white. I want a white tiger, you know what I mean? Because that's my taste, you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing I like. So we just go ahead and get a white tiger right there. Let's go ahead and get y'all don't got no white coffee tables? Y'all got cream? Okay, we can go ahead and do cream.
Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
All hell is about to break loose. Trump is going to give a speech to the nation about non-existent election fraud in 2020 and declare that Georgia's 2 Democratic senators are illegitimate. He's laying the groundwork to challenge the midterms. WTF.
Here we go again, folks. It's set to be the latest instance of Trump using the power of the Oval Office to promote his election lies and set the stage to potentially call future elections into question. Well, not like the ones coming up in November. MS Now also reports that 2 FBI agents were fired last week for refusing to participate in the Trump administration's investigations of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. It bears repeating that there has been none, zero, nada, nothing, none, again, no credible evidence whatsoever of widespread voter fraud during the 2020 presidential election.
Trump will deliver a speech spreading more lies about the 2020 election because his pathetic, sore-losing ass can't accept that Joe Biden beat him like a drum. What a loser. Wait a minute. If you think that's loserdom, you ain't seen nothing yet.
But wait, there's more.
Donald Trump is set to announce in prime time that he's the only president in U.S. history who couldn't keep our elections secure. If this were true, it should be followed up with a resignation. He's essentially saying he's a victim of his own incompetence. A victim of his own incompetence, you say? Kind of like where his approval ratings sit right about now, huh? Brother, kind of like that. Or, you know, standing in the world.
So true. So true.
Trump's won 2 of the last 3 elections. Republicans have controlled the House and Senate 60% of the time. So the Democrats were cheating to help Trump, and the Republicans, MAGA. I know the level is set beneath where the reflecting pool sits right about now. But I mean, how are y'all even operating as human beings with this floating around in your head? Oh no, it's worse.
But just riddle me this. When Obama ran intelligence, the election was secure and Donald Trump won in 2016. When Biden ran the government and the intelligence, the election was secure and Trump ran in 2024. But when Donald Trump and all of his boobs were running U.S. national security, it got all effed up. Is that the theory?
I guess so. Nicole, we like to say that this administration is built on lies, but it's also built on really bad leftovers.
Riddle me this. When Obama ran intelligence, the election was secure and Donald Trump won in 2016. When Biden ran the government and the intelligence, the election was secure and Trump ran in 2024. But when Donald Trump and all of his boobs were running U.S. national security, it got all effed up. Is that the theory? Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. I hate when conspiracies collide. I absolutely hate when conspiracies collide, because now we got to make the case that the election was rigged in only certain jurisdictions, but not enough to prevent him from taking the White House in 16 and 24, but enough to topple him in 2020 when he was in charge. But it's not his fault, because it was other people that he had entrusted with that that are now no longer a part of his administration. But that wasn't his fault that he had named those people, because he had trusted other people that had told him to pick those people. He had other people gave him bad advice, and he trusted those people that messed everything up. But it's not his fault that he had listened to these people that gave him bad advice, because it was other people that said that he should trust those people that gave him the bad advice to name these people to handle the election. That's pretty much exactly what y'all are going with.
What?
Note to my future self. This week, the Trump administration continued its work to take over elections. On Tuesday, the Justice Department sent letters to election officials in all 50 states and D.C., threatening criminal prosecution over non-citizen voting and giving states 5 days to respond with a plan. Non-citizen voting is already illegal in every federal election, and it is vanishingly rare. Then on Thursday, the White House forced out all 3 remaining members of the Election Assistance Commission, the bipartisan agency Congress created in 2002 to help states run elections. The agency now has 0 members, just 4 months before the midterms. The White House said the commissioners may not be totally aligned with the president's approach to election security. The pattern is obvious. Threaten officials who count the votes, dismantle the agency that helps them do it. Each move transfers power over elections toward the White House and away from the states that have always run them. Elections run by the ruler are elections in name only.
That is correct. And if you doubt that premise, then the first piece of evidence that Trump should show when it comes to, election fraud might be the fact that Elon Musk likely broke Wisconsin election law by offering $1 million to voters before last year's state Supreme Court election, a bipartisan panel has found. Now, here's where we get to the part where we get downright Trumpian, because we have firmly laid out the horrible double standards with regards to DEI, with Lindsey Graham's seat, also with regards to representation with South Carolina vis-a-vis Kentucky, also with regards to election fraud, with a lack of evidence, the fact that he was in charge and the only evidence there might possibly be lands on his side. Here's where things get downright Trumpian. Because with absolutely nothing, they bluster and double down.
Man, this some old bullshit.
The Trump administration is threatening to hold back terrorism prevention funding from states unless they comply with a sweeping set of election demands, escalating President Donald Trump's ongoing attempt to seize power over elections.
Child, I told y'all it's going down. Now, all right, let's talk about it a little bit, okay? So, y'all know I'll be making my notes and stuff. I'll be having to read from my notes because I like to do my research. But basically, let's just talk about it, y'all. So, we now have these individuals that's in this administration, Trump being the lead, that has this extreme issue now and fear that election fraud is going to happen when it comes on all different levels, right? Cheaters, basically. He's scared that people are going to be cheating. But we have to understand Trump and his regime are the cheaters. They cheated first. And so this is what happens in life a lot of time. Like people who are heavily fearful and scared of something happening, most of the time, if you pay attention to it, or the individuals who have done those things previously themselves. That is why they're so scared of that happening as in retaliation or unfairness or whatnot, or whatever it may be. But they're so fearful of that because these are things that they have participated in. Okay. So let's talk about it. So what is really driving all these aggressive moves against voting rights lately? We do see all of the headlines. Y'all seen, we have listened to some content here from like voters, MAGAs, all kinds of people speaking. Executive orders trying to create federal voter tracking lists, stripping away mail-in voting, and creating hurdles just for people to register to vote. But let's be clear about the psychology here. And this is what I was just saying. Confident teams don't try to change the rules of the game right before the kickoff. If you know you're going to win and you know you coming with that juice and that power, then what do you need to change the rules of the game for? You just come and you play the game and you win. People who often realize and know that they likely going to lose, they have to cheat. When you hear this administration going this hard, it is not a display of strength. It is a loud, ringing declaration of fear. They are absolutely terrified to lose because they know that when everyone actually shows up, they really don't have the numbers or the support. And let's not pretend that this is a new strategy. We have to remember history here. They are trying to rig the system ahead of time now because their last attempt at cheating didn't work. Cast your mind back, y'all, to the 2020 election. When the math didn't go his way, what did he do? He didn't just accept the loss like a grown-up. He full-blown went out into desperation mode. We're talking about the infamous fake elector scheme. We keep hearing this, where his team tried to print out fraudulent manufactured certificates to officially replace real vote cast by the people. We're talking about putting a squeeze on election officials and literally pressuring the vice president to ignore the real certified results. He literally tried to subvert the entire democratic process because his ego couldn't handle the L. Sometimes you just got to take the L in the chin, for real. The special counsel even compiled a massive mountain of evidence showing a deliberate conspiracy to defraud the United States and steal an election. They're still talking about this in 2026. The only reason he isn't sitting in a courtroom answering for it right now is because he managed to get back into office and get the cases dismissed under the DOJ's policy against prosecuting sitting presidents. He didn't win on facts. He just found a loophole. Now, fast forward. 2026. Why they are attacking voter laws so aggressively today? Because they know that the people are watching. They know that the fake electors trick will not fly a second time. So now they're trying different angles, suppress the vote before it even happens. Just recently, they issued sweeping executive orders trying to force the post office to restrict mail-in ballots and mandate crazy paperwork to register. But praise data. The court saw right through the scam. Federal judges, the ones that's on the good side, stepped in and completely blocked those moves. calling them unconstitutional violations of the separation of powers. They are throwing everything at the wall to literally see what sticks. They are trying to make it harder for working families, older folks, and students to cast a ballot. It is pure, unadulterated panic. Now, here's the kicker. It's just like a basketball team that knows that they can't play defense. They can't shoot. They down by 20 points in the fourth quarter. So what do? They spend the whole game trying to convince the referee to shrink the hoop so the other team can't score. But here's the beauty of it. Every single time they try to lock the door, it just reminds our community how powerful the key in our hands actually is, right? Isn't that what they're telling us? If they're trying to suppress us, we gotta be badass. They wouldn't be fighting this hard, and they wouldn't have tried to fake the numbers in 2020 if our voices didn't have power or they didn't matter and they didn't change the whole room. So let them keep showing their cards. We see the fear, we know the facts, and we know exactly what we need to do next, y'all. So listening to these politics and really learning it at the core of how they play. You literally, like I said, you can apply it to a basketball game, a football game, a tennis game, a track race. They're playing the same type of game, and they're in the losing place. They know it. They know they're going to lose. It's like walking into a match that you know you're up against an opponent you're going to lose against. Now, who is that opponent? Is it just about left and right, Democrats and Republicans? No. They try to fool us to believe that Democrats and Republicans are fighting against each other, which they are, but they're not knowing the elephant in the room, the opponent that they never suspected. The opponent that they never suspected is the people. And that is why I say, as a people, if we stand together, if we speak up, if we fight as a united front, they can't defeat us. They can't get over what the people need, what they want, what they request when we use our voices and we speak up. And you have to remember, and this is me only speaking from someone who lives in the United States, right? And we are under a democracy. If you know what a democracy is, that means
They told you stay entertained, stay distracted, stay divided. I said stay dangerous. Let's go. We here. Universal. You want the tea, you want the beef, you want the who said what? When it's time to build a life, you keep your big mouth shut. You binge watch chaos, call it keeping informed. But when it's time to grow, suddenly you're bored. Addicted to the circus, dancing for $1 bill. While they're harvesting your focus, popping every kind of pill. The rhythm got you trapped, the digital lobotomy. You rattle, watch a dummy captain claim your sovereignty. You feel it, don't you? That pressure in your chest. Don't wait, that whisper saying you were built for more than this. Breathe it in. High frequency, we don't vibrate low. Cut the signal noise, let the real winds grow. Wake up, stand tall, break the spell. We ain't building our minds in a digital cell. No walls. High frequency, crown don't tilt. Truth so heavy, make the weak ones wilt. If the numbers drop when the truth gets strong, then let them fall. We moving on. Yeah, they call it just contend, I call it control. If it numbs your spirit, it's a tax on your soul. You're arguing in comments about a rapper summer dress. Why you suffocating slowly in a world of curated stress? Hate the woman who thinks for herself, who won't chase wild, wake up, tree stealth. I'm a Nolan Queen, 10 toes down in the mud. While you're tracing lights and spilling everybody's blood. Moria! Are you entertained or enslaved? Choose. Are you informed or inflamed? Think. Is the gossip worth your soul? Is it? Unplug the wire, activate the cell. Mama Warrior told you. Don't bring the strong. How break was made, we don't vibrate low. Digital noise, let the real ones grow. Keep it up, stand tall, break the spell. We ain't building our minds in a digital cell. High frequency, crown don't tilt. Truth so heavy, make the weak ones wilt. Heavily the few who see and rule a million sleeping sheep. Not a sheep, and I'm a queen. If the numbers drop when the truth gets loud, don't feel, or I'd rather have the crown than a brainless crowd. Go the mud from the mud to the throne, from silence, cause signal mama warrior, golden queen. Signal strong, static gun.
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with me again through these technical difficulties, y'all. So yeah, like I was joking. I said I blame the government, but not I don't know if they listen to me or not. But no, they doing construction or whatnot across the street. They opened up a 7-Eleven. I don't know if y'all know what 7-Eleven is. A lot of people's not in the US, so I don't know if y'all have 7-Eleven outside the country. But in the US, it's like a convenience store with a gas station and all the things, you know, kind of like a Wawa. I don't know if you know what Wawa is either, but it's one of those type of places we have here in the US and in a lot of different states. And we have a new one that's opened up right across the street from where I stay. So they're doing construction and building it now. And so like for the past week, like we've been having like power outages, like it'll click out, it'll come right back in. Because they over there working on electricity and the lines, the power lines and all that stuff. So that always happens, y'all, when they be doing construction. But yeah, so I don't want to hold y'all up too long because like I said, it's Friday, y'all. It's the weekend is upon us or whatnot. And we about to get up out of here and go have some fun for the weekend and spend some time with our friends and family and stuff like that and have some good moments. But yeah, y'all, I was in the midst of talking about you know, with our government that we have here in the U.S., this administration, this democracy that we have. One of the things that I just want to leave here, y'all, before I end it, and I know we're supposed to talk about Nolan Wells. I didn't get a chance to get to that. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to keep the updates when it comes to that story, and I'm going to talk about it with y'all. I'm going to cut that part short, y'all, for this evening, just because I don't know if the power's going to go out again. It did it like 3 other times today, so. But as far as what we're talking about, you know, democracy or whatnot that we have in the U.S., our administration, our government, voter rights and things of that nature, they've been manipulating all that, right? And that's something that we all are trying to navigate through. It's, you know, pretty obvious. It's nasty work. And we're jumping through hoops when it comes to that, you know. And I know in other countries how y'all have y'all system set up. Y'all may have to do the same as well. So I understand y'all might can understand the struggle of it all. But yeah, so that's basically what they are doing. And they're making it very difficult now, you know, because we have elections coming up. Not only do we have a presidential election that's going to come up, but we have local elections, and they are also trying to block local elections because they don't want people to be able to progress and get seats within, you know, the Senate or whatnot, or Supreme Court, all of those things. So they try to keep those seats locked down and have it majority, you know, Republicans or whatever like that, and not really give people a fair shot when it comes to Democrat and Republican. There's always a war between the two. And, you know, with this administration, child, it's about who's bought and paid for. And so, you know, in my personal opinion, allegedly, a lot of these people within this administration are all homies. They kick it, they rock, and they all on the team together. It's like me on like a dirty team. You know what I mean? Like everybody on team dirty. That's literally what we dealing with and what we fighting. You know, a lot of these people that's even on the team ain't even qualified. Like they don't even know how to hit a ball, kick a ball, dunk a ball, nothing. Like if we talking about sports or anything like that, in comparison, they don't have the skill. They really don't have the skill. They just is the friend of a friend of a friend, or they the homie, or the cousin, or the uncle, or the auntie, then whatever, the nephew, the son, the daughter, whoever. So these people are getting spots, and they're in positions that they are not qualified for whatsoever. They don't know what they're doing, and everything is just a hot mess because of it. And they want to keep it that way. So they're fighting tooth and nail, and they're playing dirty games to keep, you know, fairness when it comes to how these elections and whatnot work and operate. They're trying to throw that out the window because they don't care about the voice of the people. They're not caring about what the people are asking for and who they're requesting and who they see fit to be in place to represent them and represent us as a whole. All they care about is keeping their people up in the mix until they all fall out. And then when they fall out, and some of them, you know, they throw each other under the bus. And so, you know, we've been seeing a lot of that and how that can work and operate as well, not just in the political sector, but child, even here on YouTube. You know what I mean? These operations work until they don't. Okay. And these people get along until they fall out. And that's how it works. And that's how it is. And so it's very a shame if you have these type of games, you know, that even we see getting played on YouTube being positioned within our governmental structure. That's very dangerous for the people, right, within that country. And so that's what we're dealing with. But I know other countries deal with worse. And they deal with their own share of struggle as well. And so I've never take that from anyone else. And being from the United States, I'm not a woe is me person. Like, oh God, look what's happening to us here in the US. No, these type of things are happening all over the world. And we have a democracy. Other people live under dictatorships and communism and all, you know, all different types of things and structures and stuff when it comes to, you know, the political parties and stuff. So we all have to just care for one another and, you know, educate ourselves about what we all are dealing with and what we're all going through in our different countries, you know, in our different political and governmental structures. And we know as the people that our voices matter. And I believe that, you know, that's why I fight so hard for unity, because I do know that if the people just stand together and bind together, our voices are louder than any of these politicians or any of these dictators or whoever may be in place. We're stronger. Our voices are louder. And what we need as the people is what matters most. And sometimes we're going to have to fight tooth and nail for it. And it's not going to be pretty, but it's what we got to do, because we need a better tomorrow. We need a better future for our babies, for our children, and for our lives, period. And we're not going to let individuals sit up here and think that they're the end all be all and they can make the decisions and run us, run our lives, and run our families, and dictate how we live and how comfortably we live and how fairly we live and how freely we live and how safe we live. you know, all of those things. And so that's why I like to talk about politics. And, you know, I bring some of what is going on to the forefront. Sometimes we do a little bit of just what's going on in the US, and then sometimes we do it global because I think that's important. And I speak about it with the same level of energy and compassion, despite where it's at and what we're talking about. Because there's a lot of inequality, there's unfairness, there's danger, and there's just, you know, unrest amongst the people. And when we feel unrest, you know, I know everybody's not able to, but you can maybe in your own way, right? In your own ability to fight back and speak up. But that's what it comes to, y'all. We have to speak up and we have to fight back and we have to stand up. We're not going to allow these people to roll all over us and control us and put us in predicaments that make our lives uncomfortable and difficult. Because who gave you the right to do so? And again, a lot of time I tap into that and I speak on that based on, yes, my spiritual beliefs as well. Because I don't believe these politicians are no higher. They never will be higher and in no bigger position than, you know, what my religious and spiritual belief is. And I believe in God. I do. And no politician for me is bigger than God. And you will not sit up here and you will not tell us as the people, God's people that he created. And I know some people see God as female, male, different things, all respected over here, the different ways we see it. But I'm just speaking on mine. So I will say he allowed. But I don't believe God created us to be controlled or dictated by any other human individual, because we all are human, we all are equal. So why does one believe that they're better than the other or higher than the other? You're not. And you don't get to affect a whole group of people's lives because of the decisions and the things and the greed and, you know, the narcissism that you operate with. You will not affect other people's lives in a grand scheme like that. It's not up to you to do so. It's not what I believe God had intended and how God intended for us to live. And so I will fight tooth and nail against all of that every single time because I don't agree with it and I don't subscribe. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and cut it short, y'all. Like I said, I will come back. Y'all know I'm coming back. I'm always coming back. But we're going to cover some more with the Nolan Wells story and the updates. I'll go ahead and push that over to the next live because I just am so fearful that this daggone power child might flash off again because they still over there drilling and doing all of the things. So I am going to do that. And I also want to let y'all go because it's Friday. The weekend is here. We got to have fun, y'all. We got to do something nice, you know, with our family and our friends. And I don't want to hold it too long. We already at the 2-hour and 20-minute mark. But I appreciate for all the time that you did decide to come and spend with me, that you took out of your day to come and spend with me and listen to me on this live. It really means more than you know. Whether you are joined in the chat or maybe you was just listening, but I appreciate that as well. And I can feel your presence. So thank you all so very much. And I hope you all have a great rest of the evening, afternoon, morning, night, in whatever respectful time zone you're in. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend as well. Now, I will have some live during the weekend where I'll tap in a little bit, y'all. If you're busy and you can't join, it's okay. Just enjoy your life and enjoy your people, your friends, your family, and have a wonderful time. Child, we're up against a lot, but we can fight against it even harder. And that's the goal. So I hope y'all enjoyed the live today. We'll get into some more things. Trust me, we will. But per usual, y'all, I am going to go ahead and end it with a bop. Let me see here. Give me a quick second, y'all. All right. So I got a few songs that I'm going to play for y'all. And we're going to get up out of here. Because it's time to start the weekend. I did have a final message. You know how I always say. And so, yeah. Right before we get into this, Bob, I just want to lift us up and leave you with a message of pure hope to carry into the rest of your weekend and your week. We unpacked a lot of heavy truths today. Global shifts, political illusions, cultural friction, and a family's deep fight for justice, which, you know, that was with the Roland Martin situation. And we'll get into that on the next live. But when you look at all of this at once, it is easy to see why the world tries to push us towards despair. Real life can feel heavy, and Lord knows these YouTube streets love to profit off of making us feel defeated. But I want you to look closer at what we really expose. Truth always finds a way to the light. Digital data doesn't lie. Fake narratives fall apart, and the people are waking up. This is a shift that is happening. The fact that we are here in this space, locked in together, analyzing, demanding accountability, and refusing to look away. This is where the power is. We aren't just surviving the times we live in. We are actively shaping the future by refusing to be silent. Change doesn't start in the halls of Congress or the corporate boardrooms. It starts right here in our communities, in our homes, in our shared focus, and in our refusal to give up on one another. We have the vision, we have the voice, and we have the purpose. So we have to keep our heads held high, keep our spirits up, and protect the beautiful energy. So y'all, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Y'all can throw some thumbs up in the chat. You can subscribe to the channel if you want. You can share it. You can comment on the replay, and you can hit that like button. I really appreciate all engagement. Whoever needs a reminder of who they are, I don't have to give it to you. You know who you are, and I know who I am, and we will continue to be who we are as people. We love, we fight, we speak, we stand, and we'll continue to do so. And shout out to my lovely co-host, Imani, who is on vacation and couldn't join us today. But she's living her best life, child. She can hope we can start it early. And she'll be back with us soon once her vacation time is over. But yeah, thank y'all for rocking with me. I want y'all to stay safe, stay joyful, and keep moving with purpose. We'll catch y'all on the next live stream, y'all. So peace and love to each and every one of you. We're going to go ahead and end it with a boppity bop bop bop, per usual. And I will talk to y'all soon. So this is Golden signing out, y'all. Bye.
Yeah. Listen. Can you feel it? Something shifted. The air don't feel the same. Too many masks falling. Too many truths walking in the daylight. Justice being patient. Now she's knocking at every door. Let's go! It's over. It's over. Yeah. It's over. What's hidden always finds the sunlight. What's planted in darkness always grows toward the light. Yeah. It's over. The tide done turned. The whole world finally starting to discern. We cried, we built, we stood, we healed. Now look at what refusing to quit revealed. It's over. Funny how silence got louder than the lies. Funny how fake smiles couldn't survive real eyes. Everybody wanted power, nobody wanted truth. Now accountability, walking in expensive boots. Used to laugh, used to mock, used to throw stones. Now everybody scrambling, trying to protect thrones. See, light don't argue, it just shines. Truth don't rush, it arrives on time. Receipts don't disappear, energy don't lie. Everything eventually meets the most high. No shortcuts, no cheating, no editing history. What's done in the shadows always becomes somebody's testimony. Can you feel that? The atmosphere changing. People protecting peace instead of entertaining. Healing replacing hate. Purpose replacing fame. The culture waking up. Nothing feeling the same. It's over. No more pretending. It's over. A new beginning. Too bright. Can't dim that light. Justice showed up. Now everything's sitting right. It's over. The season changed. The energy rearranged. One chapter closed. Another one raised. It's over. From neighborhoods to timelines. From classrooms to front lines, people standing taller, speaking with intention, learning every platform carries real consequences. Less tearing people down, more lifting people up, less chasing empty cloud, more building real trust. Every grandmother praying, every father staying, every child dreaming, every voice saying enough hiding, enough dividing, enough pretending everything alright when people die. And the next generation watching every move we make, let's leave them something stronger than another fake debate. Hey, 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 hey. Who we are? The truth. What we want. Justice. How we move. Forward. How we lead. Together. Boom. Justice. How we move. Forward. How we lead. Together. Boom. Ain't no victory lap, it's a healing march. Everybody carrying visible and invisible scars. Some lost family, some lost hope, some almost gave up, barely stayed afloat. But look now, the sun's still rising, the future looking brighter, the vision getting wider. Real ones never folded, never sold they soul. Stay 10 toes while the pressure made them gold. Now respect, sounding louder than gossip. Character worth more than popularity. Integrity becoming the new luxury. That's the flame. No revenge, just grow. No hate, just hope. No bitterness, just wisdom. No fear, just vision. This the dawn of another chapter. Built stronger, built wiser, built together. It's over. Darkness couldn't hold us. It's over. The truth finally showed us who we are, who we can be. What happens when people choose unity? It's over. Fear don't own us. Love still growing. Justice still flowing. Keep your head high. Keep your light bright. The dawn of a new era starts tonight. They counted us out, but they never counted on the truth. The world changing. One voice, one family, one act of courage at a time. Golden Queen. This ain't the ending, it's the beginning. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. They don't know her like I do. Nah. Golden. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know her like I. She goes by golden. Soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden. City lights dancing while her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace with the games they throwing. Real love, rare soul spirits, they got it. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace while the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden the big. She's still soft-hearted, but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love where there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself, chasing illusions. She survived the fire. Still glowing through the storm. Still still dangerous. Still chosen. She goes back golden. So deep in the whole room noticed. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pens in the matter. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like I. city cried, when the tears dried, we still got golden, golden. And who knows you better than yourself? Who feels your pain better than yourself? Who carried those nights better than yourself? Nobody. 'Cause who knows you better than They don't know her like I do. Nah. Golden, golden. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occur. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know her like I. She goes like golden, soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden. City lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace with the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they got it. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace while the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just 'cause smiles hot and being hidden the big. She's still soft-hearted, but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love where there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire, still glowing through the storm. Still still dangerous, still chosen. She goes back golden. Slow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pessimism. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like they still don't know her like that. Spend so much time looking for love in strangers. Spend so much time. Spend too much time letting outside voices shake the mirror. But at the end of the night, when the lights fade, when the city cried, when the tears dried, we still got